Hi, guys. It's just us here today. Just us guys. Yeah. And delighted to have you. Tommy, Rich. Rich is here early. Oh, my goodness. Amnon. Yeah. Glad to have you guys. So we can just hang out, just the four of us today. That'll be cool. Of course, there are probably folks watching on vMix, YouTube. The Facebook feed doesn't start for another 3 minutes. So it's just us guys here. Just us guys. And a show of hands. How many of you watched the vMix Funtime Live show last night? Raise your hand. Yes, you did. Hassan is here. Welcome, Hassan. Glad to have you. How many of you guys have been watching the Stream Geeks live stream from NAB New York today? They did about 3 hours so far of live stream, sort of a stream of consciousness live stream. That's been good. Dave O is here. Welcome. Sam is here. Hey, Sam. I didn't see you on the list, but I'm glad you're here. So there we go. All right. Very good. If you're watching us on YouTube directly, you just went to the YouTube watch page. We're not doing chat on YouTube. Come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com, and that way you can get in on the chat, which is looks something like this right there. Oh, it's not there. Well, we need to fix that. Reload page. Let's see if that'll do. So yeah, there we go. Here it comes. All right, there you go. vMix, actually vMix was solely responsible for shutting down YouTube. I don't know if any of you guys knew. I mean, the vMix guys, when they ended the show, it kind of just dribbled out and the error message came up on YouTube. Well, YouTube went down all over the world at the very end of that show. I got an email from Tim last night saying, apparently we shut down YouTube, and I thought he was teasing. I didn't realize it really went down. That was hilarious. Aram's here. Welcome, sir. Glad to have you. How's Mar doing? I think about you guys frequently. Mar does a cool talk show that name escapes me, but it's a really cool name to it. And she has kind of a pink theme. Please refresh my memory on that one. I'm not as sharp as I never was that sharp. Davo just watched the Funtime Live show on YouTube. Well, there you go. All right. Yeah. If you're watching us on YouTube, and the Facebook stream is about to go live right now. Mara's always great. That's right. Yeah, you're a lucky guy. I mean, you talk about somebody that married up. Jeez, you and me, man. Homegirl talk. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Homegirl talk. And, yeah. All right. Tommy Willis, Davo, Hassan, Rich, Aram, Amnon, David here. Good. Jeru is here. Nick is here. Jeez, all the cool people are showing up now. Just when I thought it was safe to go back in the water. Emmanuel's watching from Ghana. All right. Glad to have you. Yeah. Let's see. What can we do here to make... let's see if that'll go there. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I've got a full screen going here. A multi-view right behind the camera. And so I'm trying to get all my assets up there so I can appear to be making eye contact with you while really I'm looking at the full screen video across the room. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about vMix 22 today. Imagine that. Yeah, it was a great show from Martin and Tim last night. Tim, who is in New York at NAB New York. So if you're in that area, Tim is going to be there today and tomorrow. This will be a great chance to meet him, if nothing else. and get a free mouse pad. And if you ask him, he'll even sign it for you. Tell him I suggested. I think he and Martin ought to do that. I think that would be so cool. I mean, they are such rock stars. They are such rock stars. Amnon says, so they are no longer he's talking about YouTube now. He says they are no longer accepting vMix as broadcasting software since it brought down the entire network last night. He says, oh well, back to VB. What is VB? Hey Rod, glad you're here. Peter's here, welcome. Glad to have you. We're getting ready to go here. Hey, if you just joined us in Facebook, come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com right down there at the bottom of the page. That way you'll get in on the chat, because this is going to go away during the show. So we'd love to have you come join us in the chat. We're going to be chatting about vMix 22, mostly about GT Title Designer. Did you see the video I posted on Facebook and Twitter just a few minutes ago on Martin's explanation on that? Amnon meant to write VT. Okay, I think Amnon is, he is so old, he's getting confused. He and his friend Mike. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I am so bad sometimes. Marie is here. Okay, well, the fun can start. Marie is here. Jasper's here. Welcome. Glad to have you. Texas Mike is in the house. This is going to be great. All the cool kids are here. So there you go. There you go. If you're watching and you're going, hey, I don't see this other than what you're displaying right there, then you need to go to easternshorebroadcasting.com and make sure. Let's see if we can sharpen that up just a little bit. And make sure that you. There it is. It is sharp. And go to easternshorebroadcasting.com so that you can see the chat. That's a long way of doing it. All right. Marie is taking Tommy for her man. You heard it here first. You saw it in the chat first. Dave is interested in how much we use YouTube. We were working on an Arduino project last night and needed some extra info and needed YouTube for help. But we did figure it out. Yeah, YouTube is a great resource. It's like a virtual video encyclopedia. It is. It is, it is, it is. Okay. I use it. I fixed my swimming pool pump recently, and I used YouTube to make sure that I had all the parts right in the right order. Because the way I took it apart, it just didn't make sense. And when I put it back together, I realized the person that put in a seal backwards. That's why it leaked. Rick's here. Rick was our guest of honor last week. Welcome, sir. Martin is here. Martin K. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Martin has done all the awesome graphics that we have here at easternshorebroadcasting.com, like our intro and all that other cool stuff. Let's see, somebody else. Oh, Kirk's here. Hey, Kirk. Glad to have you. Thanks for joining us. Jim Jacobs is here. All right, Jim. Good to see you. Well, actually, I'm not seeing you, but you're seeing me, and that's even better. Edward Ford is here. Edward. Good. Did my little trick on disabling the vMix license work for you? I'm hoping it did. Jim Jacobs is here for the vMix 22. Well, that's you're not going to get much. Tom missed that. Oh, I missed the timer. Oh, my goodness. That's why the number turned green. Doggone it. Well, there you go. All right. Marie got a mention in the vMix Funtime Live show. That's right. Woo, you have arrived. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's why I pepper them with comments and questions. I hope they'll mention my name. Woo. All right. Curtis, that would crack the screen. Yeah. All right, let's see. Let's get going. What do you say? Oh, I will say that if you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook directly on YouTube or Facebook, come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com so you can get the chat, because the chat's going to go away in just a minute, and you want to hang out with all the cool kids, because they are definitely, the cool kids are there hanging out in chat. Somebody else just joined us. Jan joined us finally. Gee whiz, if you can't get here on time, at least show up when you can. And then 905-363, a bunch of numbers. Glad to have you. It always is an indication to me when somebody puts numbers in. Those numbers mean something. So if you want to share what those numbers mean, man, we're glad to have you do that. Excuse me. I need to have a yawn cam. I've got a cough. What do you got? I need to have a yawn button. I've got a cough button. Hello, Peter. Welcome. But I need to have not a video. Well, it could be a video, but I was thinking just a little image that just all of a sudden just planted itself over my face so I could yawn in the background, and then it would go away and it would just be me there. I'll have to work on that. Frank is here. Hey, Frank. Glad to have you. All right. So, who else showed up? TV Todd is here. Welcome. Glad to have you. And we're not started yet, but we're about to get started. Nick G. And if I missed you, I am sorry. You just, what do you expect? What do you expect? All right, let's see if we can't get this show on the road. If it works right, we'll be ready to go. If not, then we'll have another go at it. So get ready. Grab some lemonade. I've got some right here. And, and I know, do me a favor as we're going through the show, if you think about it, make notes on the color and the light. I've changed the lighting here in the studio. I've gone to a 5500K LED lights, but I don't think I have enough light, which is why my shirt may look a little weird. Anyway, we'll come back to that. Gerald's here. All right. Gene's here. All right, we can get started. And here we go. Well, hello. Welcome. I'm Tom Sinclair. This is Streaming Idiots. I am so glad that you are here for today's show. It's going to be a great show. Well, it's going to be a good show. It's not going to be a great show. Last week was a great show when Rick was on. That if you missed that show, go back to the YouTube archives or the Facebook archives and take a look. If you're into sports broadcasting, that was a really great show. And Rick, I appreciate you showing up with me. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about vMix 22. You say, Tom, did I miss something? Has vMix 22 been released? Or maybe a beta? Well, we'll get to that in just a second. But first, save the date. That's right, save the date. The date is April 9th, 2019. That is the Streaming Idiots meetup at NAB 2019. That is Tuesday of NAB. Make sure when you come to NAB that you stay over for Tuesday night so you can come to the meetup so that we can meet up. Last year it was a great party. We had a ton of fun. Everybody got their Streaming Idiots meetup koozies with all of our sponsors, vMix and PTC Optics and Livestream Las Vegas and Mobile Video Devices, U.S. Broadcast Distribution. Bird Dog and X Keys right there. We appreciate those folks sponsoring the event, along with my company, Eastern Shore Broadcasting. By the way, this entire show is a giant infomercial. That's right. It's an infomercial for my company, Eastern Shore Broadcasting. So let's see. Can we roll the credits for that? Not really credits, but yeah, here it is. We design and build PCs for folks that are live streaming. Talked to 3 people today who had very different needs and said, Tom, we're not sure what to do. Well, if you're not sure what to do, talk to somebody that is sure what to do. You can experiment and hope that what you buy or build yourself will fit the bill, or you can talk to somebody who's done it a ton of times. Somebody was talking to me this morning and said, Tom, are you getting any work done on your new studio? No, I don't have time to work on my new studio because I'm building so many PCs. But hey, all the stuff that was going on in the back, we represent PTZ Optics, we represent X Keys, we represent Magewell and Yuan and Bird Dog, and who am I forgetting? Hold on a second, I got it right here. Who else? I must have forgotten somebody. That was too short a list. Anyway, I know. We've just added Sportscast, the controllers that take all the data from scoreboards and put it into your vMix production as if it were magic. Yes, we represent those guys. So if we can help you with any of those products, or if we can put a bundle together for you. We sold a bundle just this morning to somebody that wanted a PTZ Optics camera, the NDI version. They wanted a vMix license, and they wanted our premium support package because they wanted to be able to call any time and get help. And so we were delighted to put that bundle together for them, and got a camera on its way to them this afternoon. Yes, indeed, it can happen that fast. Speaking, and we're almost out. Did the color change? All of a sudden, it got real blue in here. Huh. Okay. Something's changing. I'm getting a little tanner. Maybe it's the distance from the camera. Don't know. We'll have a look at the video later. We took in on trade a PTZ Optics cam, a 20X Gen 2, early Gen 2, which means it has all the Gen 2 features, like it can be upgraded to NDI, but it doesn't have the PoE in it. Yeah, I am definitely changing colors. How about that? Is somebody playing with... Did I give somebody permission to do this? Anyway, we've got the PTZ Optics 20X in gray. It's got a little scratch on it, but it was the folks at Simsbury Community TV used it for 2 years and 4 months and traded it in on a 12X. So they wanted to go back from the 20 to the 12, and this one's in great shape. I have upgraded the firmware in it. It's ready to go. It's $1,000. Generally, they're $1,700, so it's a great deal. I mean, it's a used camera, but it was used very gently. And I know the folks at Simsbury Community TV, and they take really good care of their stuff. I think they've got 8 PTZ Optics cams, and we've got quote into them for another 8. So it's going to be great. Yeah, Dave says definitely the color is wonky. Yeah, and now I'm really good looking. Now I was feeling blue earlier, but we'll see. Something is amiss. We'll have to look. Maybe the lights are flickering or something. We'll look at that. So today is a good day. Today is a good day. Let's get out of our infomercial and back to the regular show. That was not the regular show. Let's try that one again. There we go. That's what we wanted to do. It's funny when you have all these buttons here and you've programmed the buttons are only as good as the person that has programmed them. So anyway. All right, vMix 22. vMix 22. Here we go. vMix 22. Here's what you need to know right off the bat. vMix 22 has not been released. A beta has not been released. The beta will be released, according to Martin Sinclair, by the end of the year. Yes, we are cousins. I think our relation, no, I'm not going to get into politics and Elizabeth Warren and Indians, but Martin and I are probably closer cousins. And boy, my mind just went blank after that. Now, Martin says that the beta will be released at the end of the year, and the final release version will be available at NAB, which is early April 2019. By the way, save the date, April 9th. The vMix Funtime live show last night, they showed off, Martin demoed some of the features in the vMix title designer. But I thought it was really interesting that he, let's see, can we do this? Let's see if we can do this. He said that the vMix title designer is really going to become the GT version. And so I thought I'd just refresh your memory on what a GT means. Grand Touring, Gran Turismo. GT is the penultimate in whatever it might be. They did not make a GT Vega. You won't see a GT Volkswagen probably up there. GT is the biggest, the fastest, the bestest, and the vMix title designer, the new title designer, is named GT Title Designer. And if you missed it, we put a little clip from Martin last night explaining that. We put it on Facebook and on Twitter, so you can get it there. But I did want to play a couple of clips from last night because they were really good, and I thought we could chat about them. So let's see. Let's bring this one in. This is the clip where Martin talks about the things that are in vMix 22, including GT Title Designer. So let me get Martin in, and we will. Can we cut straight to him? Let's see if we can do that, and we have some video. Let's try that. We'll cut to Martin and start.
Talking about in vMix 22, and the first major new feature is what this title is all about. This animated title is one of the major new features available. So we're going to jump right into my little sliding feature thing, and I'll just move across like so, where we'll talk about the first new feature, and it is a new title designer. This has been built from scratch to design titles in vMix. Now, it's important to note, if you're familiar with the XAML titles in vMix, they will still be there. You can still continue to use your old titles. They aren't going away. This is a brand new additional title system we're adding alongside the old one. So you don't have to worry about migrating to the new titles. You can continue to use the old ones until you're familiar with the new designer. So we're calling this the GT Designer. So for the car enthusiasts out there, GT is the Grand Tourer model of the car. It's usually the fast, saloon, powerful model in the lineup, and this designer is no exception. It is fully GPU accelerated, so it doesn't use any CPU regardless of how many animations you add to it. So this is an important step up from the current titling system, which uses the CPU. This is completely GPU accelerated. So that's great. I mean, you can do all the way up to 4K on a modest graphics card. So it's future-proofing your graphics into the future. We have basic animation support. Now, I want to clarify what this title designer is focused on. It's focused on basic animations for your titles, similar to the animations you could select in PowerPoint. And we'll show you a little bit later what that looks like. But we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. If you're looking for a all-encompassing professional titling system, there's New Blue Titler. There's a bunch of NDI solutions out there that have all of the features you could ever hope for animated titles. But this is just a basic animated system for everybody else that just wants to quickly put together some basic animated titles. But not only that, it's going to have 4-way tickers and more. So the number one question about titles we get asked is, how can I create my own tickers, and how can I create them to operate in different directions? So we've heard you, and we're going to be adding 4-way ticker support. What does that mean? Well, it means you can create your own ticker, and you can have one of 4 directions. You can go left to right, right to left, top to bottom, or bottom to top. So you have full flexibility on designing your own tickers regardless of what language or region you want to use them in. So this has been something people have been asking us about for a while. And of course, not only can you do that, but you take advantage of the full GPU acceleration by having a ticker that doesn't use any CPU. So that's the new title designer. We're going to go into that a little bit later on. But now here's the next new features in vMix 22. We've got new multi-quarter source support. So people have been asking for more options of recording in multi-quarter, so we're going to be adding vMix call support. Any calls you have in your production, you can now record using multi-quarter. We're also adding outputs 1 to 4 to the multi-quarter. So you'll know in vMix it has 4 outputs, 2 of which can be sent via capture cards, such as from Blackmagic and AJA, and an additional 2 that are for NDI and for vMix call, vMix replay, and so on. All those 4 outputs can now be recorded using the multi-quarter in vMix 22. So that's something that people have been asking us as well. So not only can you use multi-quarter to record existing sources such as cameras, NDI, now you have vMix call, and now you have the outputs 1 to 4, which will allow you to record pretty much any source in vMix now using the multi-quarter. So that's the new multi-quarter enhancements. And last but not least is the new vMix video codec. So this is a new high quality, low CPU codec that's going to be built into vMix that's especially designed for things like multi-quarter. Now it's the most similar to recording formats like ProRes and DNx HD. So it's designed for editing, it's very large file sizes, very high quality. It's designed for post-production use, just like you might use with ProRes or DNx HD, except it's built into vMix and it is extremely low CPU usage. It's going to be the lowest CPU usage recording option you're going to have available, which is really great for multi-quarter when you're recording multiple sources. So it supports all the way up to 4K and 4K 60 in fact, so it's a really new versatile video codec for post-production use. And the codec, as I mentioned, it's high bit rates, it's high file sizes, it's recording to AVI, which means you'll be able to drag and drop it into any Windows video editor. We've already tested Adobe Premiere, as we say in Australia, and Sony Vegas, or Vegas, I can't remember the company that currently runs them. So we've tested in both of those applications, drag and drop, but it should work in any Windows video editing application. So for Mac, you'll have to transcode the video format, but at least on Windows, if you're already using Windows for your video editing, it's drag and drop. And finally, it is fault tolerant. So while it is recording to AVI, we have created a custom format that is fault tolerant. So if you lose power, the recording is not lost. So this is actually an advantage over other systems like ProRes and DNx HD, where the recordings can become corrupt on those recorders if you happen to lose power. So we've solved that problem specifically for this new video recording format. So it's available for the main recorder and it's available for the multi-quarter, and you'll be able to download the codec for other Windows PCs that don't have vMix running on them. So these are the 3 headline new features of vMix 22. So now I'm going to
So there you go. You heard it from the horse's mouth, as it were. 3 new features. Well, actually not new features, but expanded, improved, supercharged the vMix title designer, the expansion of sources for multi-quarter, and the vMix codec, the new video codec. And somebody said in chat here, they thought that, it looks like Jim said that he thought the video codec was really the biggest new feature, and that may be a sneaky new feature. For those of you that are doing a lot of editing with vMix, this is going to give you a great opportunity to have a file that is probably high quality. It's going to be an AVI, excuse me, and virtually uncompressed, and will not require a whole, yeah, I'm going blue again, will not require a whole lot of CPU use in vMix to pull it off. So there you go. Jan says, who cares about Macs anyways? So, all right, so I did want to bring in the demo of the title designer, because I thought that was really cool, and I've got a clip on that. It runs for about 8 minutes, And so let's just go ahead and see it. I think it'll be worthwhile, and I won't spoil it by coming into the bottom and making it do stuff. So here we go. Let's go, Martin.
Now let's jump right into a demonstration of the designer. So to do that, I'm going to throw up our desktop capture. This is the production today in vMix. It's the interface hasn't changed pretty much at all since vMix 21, so you won't have to relearn anything. It should all be familiar. And we can go to our title here. So I have this little title here which I can queue up and load like so, and as you can see, it's animated in that thing, but you can right click it and you can go to the title editor, and this hasn't changed since previous releases. There's a couple of additional buttons, but pretty much the functionality is the same. We've added a spell check, so I can spell check and I can find no mistakes. That's a relief. The spell check supports, I believe, 5 different languages depending on what language you've set vMix to. It even knows the difference between British and Australian English versus American English, so if you wanted to make sure your color is with a U or not, it supports that. We've got data sources support for the new titles, so that's not going away, which is great. We've redesigned the font dialog to make it easier to access all the fonts in the system. Many of you will note that some fonts just simply don't work in the current title designer. Well, now you have the full font support. If it's in Windows, it will appear in this list. So you have full font support now available in the new GT designer coming soon. And then we have a new color dialog we've redesigned as well, just to make it easier to control alpha channel and HSV and things like that you might be familiar with in other photo editing applications. Now you've got that new color dialog, and we also have this new clock dialog, which I'll show you a little bit later, to use with tickers. I'm just going to catch my breath now, and before we go into the GT designer. So you can go to the hamburger menu, and as you can see here, we've got the old title designer, which we've renamed the legacy title designer. So as I mentioned, it's not going away, it's going to still be there, but now we have the new GT title designer, and I'm going to be throwing that up right now. So I mentioned briefly that PowerPoint is how you could, how you could compare this designer. So if you're familiar with PowerPoint, you should feel right at home with the new designer with the top tab system. So for this demonstration, I'm going to create my own ticker template from scratch. So I'm going to start with a rectangle, which I'm going to load down the bottom right here. Now I want to give this rectangle a rounded border. So I can go to the Format tab and I can choose a radius for it, like so. And you see now it's got rounded edges. I can go back to the Home tab and I can select a border, like so. And I can select a color, but I like the white border. So I'm going to leave that as is, but you can choose from gradient. You can fill it with a picture, such as a texture, things like that. And you can select the new color dialog to give you access to all of the colors you could possibly hope for. But we're just going to fill it with a gradient today. So by default, it has red and transparent on the other end. So if I click apply, that's what it looks like. But I'm going to choose as my other color blue, and I'm going to apply that. So you can see now we've got red at the top and blue at the bottom, and I can change the angle of this to 180 degrees, and I can do that. But I'm going to put it at a slight angle at 200 degrees. So it's got a slight sort of curve to it as it goes from the blue to the red. So that looks pretty much all right for now. But now we're going to add the ticker to our title, and this is the ticker control right here. So we have text, rectangles, ellipses, images. We have 3D text, but we also have a ticker control, which is what we're going to use today. So let's drag the ticker control across the screen. And you can see the ticker is already starting. So now I can format the text. I'm going to choose Gotham as the text. Font, I'm going to make it white. I'm going to make it bold, and I'm going to vertically align it. like so. So there we go. We've got our ticker template. Let's make that a little bit of a larger font size. And I can go to the Format tab and I can customize this ticker. Now, one thing people have been asking for is they want fixed speed tickers. Well, now that's the option available. So it doesn't, no longer you have to set a duration of how long you want your ticker to run. Now you can just set a fixed speed like so. The speed is based on the pixels. So this is moving at twice the rate of the pixels, which is, I believe, is 2 pixels a frame. You can go type in whatever you like. You can choose fractional speeds as well to make it move really, really slowly. But we're going to choose 2. I think 2 is a good speed today. As I mentioned, this is a 4-way ticker. So I can choose left, I can choose right, I can choose top, and I can choose bottom for the ticker like that. But we're just going to leave it at left. So by left, it means it moves towards the left direction from the right. And then finally, the type. I could choose replace or add. Replace is like the current ticker. So if you have data sources enabled and you update the text using a data source, it'll restart the ticker, just like it currently does. But the new option I'm sure many will be interested in is add, which means when new data is added, it will add that onto the end of the ticker. So it'll add it after the current text. So that is a great way to have continuous data, such as RSS feeds, being loaded into the ticker. So let's save our template. And you can see there's 2 different file formats for GT. There's the GT XML, which is similar to the GT XAML. It's similar to the XAML format you're currently used to. And then we have GT Zip. GT Zip is the default format, and any images you use in your title will be included within that file. It's basically a zip file that contains the information about how to create the title and all of the graphics. So if you've ever been stuck in a production where you've loaded a title and suddenly the images are missing, worry no more with this new format. They're built into the file for easy access. So I'm going to call this ticker test 2. So I have a ticker test that I created earlier there just to make sure the show was all working, but we'll do ticker test 2. And so we're back into our production. So now I can go and drag and drop, or I could use the current title dialog to bring it in. So let's bring in ticker 2 into the production like that. And then I can throw it up on the screen. And there is a ticker, and I can go to the title editor, or we can go and hello world. This is a test of the new ticker coming soon in vMix 22. And we can start that again, and there we go. Now we've got a ticker overlay running on our production. As you can see here, the CPU usage does not increase when the ticker is running. So sorry, you can't see that because of the titles covering up the CPU. But the CPU is currently sitting at 4%, 3%, 4% in vMix. And if I run that title, and in fact, if I could go into here and drag it a little bit higher up so you can see the CPU usage meter. I'm not sure if you can see that on the stream. It's a little bit small text, but it's sitting at 4%. So there's no CPU impact on running these graphics, and I can, throw up the main camera, and there is the ticker graphic that we can load, like so, and as easy as that to create a new ticker template that's coming soon in vMix 22. So that was a deep dive, a quick dive into the new features that are coming up in vMix 22. So I saw Tim ran out of the way, so he didn't show up in the desktop capture. You can come back now if you want, Tim. You're out of view. So
much. It would be helpful if I turned on my audio, wouldn't it? I've got this button here that allows me to turn it off so so that I don't sneeze in your face or do other kinds of things like that. But one of the nice things that I really like about this, and Martin showed it on later in the show, was that he was able to take the data from the vMix social feed that was happening right there during the show and brought that into a scrolling ticker that was scrolling up from the bottom as if they were credits. And that included all the avatars, the graphics that went along with each person's individual comments. So Mike, yes, it does include graphics. Subtitles, you could do subtitles. Yes, I think you're talking about subtitles here for me now. There is a subtitling program if you're interested in that. It's called Web Captioner. You can find more information on that on Google, but it works with Google Chrome, and it does work in vMix. So we could do that sometime. We haven't done that in quite a while. Really, really excited for this titler. A lot of people have been critical of the very basic titler that vMix has used in the past, which was great as long as you weren't doing anything that was that was terribly complicated. But it worked pretty well. Nice too that the title menu is now going to include spell check. No more excuses. There you go. No more excuses. And especially at the beginning or prior to this show, we will run a ticker across the bottom as we kind of get ready for the pre-show, and that might be I don't know, it might be 100 words or so, and frequently I will make a typo in there, and so it would not be nice to run a spell check over it. It also is nice to be able to see the fonts and to have a better idea of the colors in that. So some I would call kind of tweaky improvements there, but the GT Title Designer I think is going to be a pretty major improvement. In some ways, for some of you, it's going to be on par with the color correction that came out in vMix 21. And I think what we're seeing from vMix now is, you've kind of got the basics. You're switching cameras, you're adding graphics, you're tweaking, you're including audio, you're including video, and now we're building the other things that are really, really cool, but we're not necessarily part, like the vMix call that's been introduced, the color correction. Now we've got a titler that my guess is Martin seemed pretty excited about that. You can see my color's gone wonky again. Martin's gone pretty excited about that. You know what I think it is? I bet it's the auto white balance in the PTZ Optics cam. I need to turn that off. That's probably what's happening. See if I can make it change. Maybe a little bit. How about that? The black shirt's throwing it off. Can you put links in the ticker? Well, you can put links in the ticker, but they won't link to anything. I mean, it's not like they'll be really a hyperlink. So I don't think that's going to be the case quite yet, Amnon. But it really is nice to see Martin going, looks like he's kind of going back through some of the original work and saying, okay, how can we improve on this? How can we tweak it? How can we add some depth to these features and make some improvements on them? And it really is nice to see that. I've worked with other software that will go unnamed that, once it had a feature, that's it. If you didn't like the way the feature worked, or if the feature didn't work the way it was supposed to work, well, that was tough because it was on the feature list and you were getting it, and it wasn't going to change. And I really like the way that Martin is continuing to invest his time in making and paying attention. Those guys go through the vMix forum, feature request forum, and really do glean through all of the suggestions that are made there. And you're saying right now, the what? The what? Okay. I don't have a URL for it, so you'll just have to write it down because I wasn't planning on saying it. But if you go to forums, that's FORUMS, forums, plural, forums.vmix.com, you'll go to the vMix forum. And one of the forums there, in addition to all the other cool ones, is the feature request forum. And that's where they go to find the ideas. Basically, they want to say, what's important? What have we missed? What do people think we should have? And so somebody will post a good idea there, and they might say something like, oh, golly, wouldn't it be nice if we could embed a WebRTC call in vMix? That's where vMix call came from. And that thread caught fire, and I think had, I don't know, 6,000 or 7,000 views of that thread, and had several hundred comments in that thread. And Martin himself commented on that thread. I think that thread went on for 3 or 4 years. And early on, Martin had said that the WebRTC just wasn't mature enough and stable enough to be able to integrate into vMix at a level where he felt comfortable supporting it. And then, the thread would continue to go on and go on and go on. And I remember leading a charge towards the end of that thread to say, all the tools are there. There's no sense in waiting. Let's go ahead and do it. And doggone it, within a few months, vMix Call came out and has been it's been a signature feature for vMix, the ability to do not 1, not 2, but up to 8 individual separate vMix calls with guests anywhere in the world. It's really, really cool. Yeah, Dave says we're being prepped for massive vMix improvements once all the little nuts and bolts are tweaked. I think we really are. I think this is more, in some ways, going through and adding spell check to the title menu was a tweak, a nut and bolt tweak, but adding the GT title designer is a massive upgrade. I think it's a massive upgrade, just like the color correction was a massive upgrade. And it's so nice to see this level of improvement of what is already there. It's got to be a real struggle internally in some ways for somebody that's creative like this, that you've created something and it ought to be good enough. It ought to be good enough because you made it. And why does it need to be improved? Well, sometimes people say it needs to be improved. And to not have so much ego to say, oh, well, that's as good as I'm going to get it. If you want anything better, you're going to have to go somewhere else. Instead, Martin has said, with what I think is in some ways a real servant's heart, to say, I really do want the best for folks that are using this software. I will mention now, since we're talking about that vMix 22 will be slightly different from the previous vMix versions. And that is that vMix 22, unless you just bought a vMix license in the last year, when vMix 22 comes out, it will be a paid upgrade. And there's a good news, bad news kind of situation with that. The good news is the upgrade's only $60, no matter what level of vMix license you have, whether you have the $1,200 license or whether you have the $60 license. Yeah, you're going to have to pay $60 to upgrade your $60 license. But if you have the 350 HD license or the 700 4K license or the 1200 Pro license, it's still only going to cost you $60. So maybe if you've got a vMix basic HD $60 license, you might think of bumping that up to the HD version. And get something more for your $60 than just an upgrade. But vMix 22 will be a paid upgrade, and I think it will be doggone well worth it. So if you have purchased a vMix license within a year of the release of vMix 22, or if you have upgraded vMix, that is, you've upgraded from vMix HD to vMix 4K, then you will have free upgrades at that point, so if you've done that with a year. Now, if you just simply upgraded from vMix 20 to vMix 21, that doesn't give you a free upgrade to vMix 22. We're talking about the additions. If you've upgraded your addition from HD to 4K, for example, or if you have purchased a new license within the last year, you can upgrade to vMix 22 for free. But unlike some other softwares, the upgrade path in vMix for the number upgrades as we go from version 21 to version 22 will only be $60. It won't be 40% or 50% of the retail value. So I think we're going to be there. Yeah, Dave has put in the thank you, Dave. has put a URL in chat for the forum, the feature request section of the forum. So definitely go through and use it. I tell you what you can do. You can go through and read it and think about, these are some of the features that could be coming down the line. And there's a I guess a standard, a habit, a practice maybe for folks to, if they agree to if I say vMix ought to do everything in pink in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And if everybody chimes in with a +1, that's kind of the symbol that you agree. You don't have to comment. You just say +1. So that's, I think, how the vMix guys are kind of tracking this. How many +1s does this have? How many? How much discussion does this particular feature have? Can we see a real path for this? So by all means, make use of the forum. If you're not registered for the forum, I think you have to be a licensed user in order to register for the forum. They were getting spammed by so many spammers so that they had to kind of close it down to just licensed users, at least the feature request section. Breathe. It was really funny in last night's show. At one point, Martin said that he thought he was talking so fast, and that if you watched it on YouTube, you might have to slow it down. And as someone that can talk really fast myself sometimes, Martin, I can assure you, you were not talking fast. We were able to catch what you were saying just fine. Don't give a second thought to the speed at which you communicate. Don't worry about that at all. You do a splendid job, and we are very excited and delighted. I see Cliff is in the chat. He is reporting from the floor of NAB New York. Cliff, you want to call in? We'll take your call. We're going to run into we're going to close up this show and run into post-show. So if you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, you can still watch if you're watching live. If you're watching us on Facebook after the fact, don't forget to subscribe. If you would like to join our Facebook group, Streaming Idiots, we would love to have you do that. Just go to Facebook and do a search on Streaming Idiots and send us a request. I will caution you to say that we will ask for your email address. And that's a way to kind of prevent spammers from coming into the group and just, spamming with a bunch of links to games or products or whatever. So we want to hold you a little bit accountable by asking for your email address. You will not get in unless you give us your email address. We don't have to be the biggest group out there. We don't have to have thousands and thousands and thousands of people. I'd rather keep the numbers small and have it be of high interest in our narrow niche and not have a bunch of other junk out there. Cliff, we're going to close out this show, and I'm going to get Cliff in on the call. And so we will see you next week with another exciting, well, maybe not exciting, marginally exciting edition of Streaming Idiots. We'll see you then. Marginally exciting. Okay, we're in post-show. Let's refresh the chat, and because somehow we lost that. And let's get to Cliff. Do you have access to Facebook? Facebook. If you go to Facebook, Cliff, I'm going to send you a message, and in the message will be a vMix password. vMix call password. So you can come into the call, and let me get that. And what I do is I open Call Manager, and I am going to copy the code right there, which is also the password. Oh, it doesn't look like, let's try this one. Okay, And I'm going to put that in. Is that the whole thing? Did I leave off a letter? 157. Yep, that's it. Okay, there it is, Cliff. And let's see if we can find out which one I just sent him. I think it was guest number 2. Guest 2, guest 2, guest 2, guest 2. Where is guest 2? We have lost guest 2. Oh, there it is. Guest 2. All right, Cliff. So if you've got the ability to call in with that one, we will put you in the show. And Cliff is at, what do you call that thing? You call that thing NAB New York. We can send private messages here. Well, then darn. Cliff says it won't let me call that number. Well, that's a vMix call password. So you have to go to vmixcall.com in your browser and put in that password. It is not a phone number. Sorry, I should have been clear. So let's see if we've got Cliff is at. Where's Cliff at? Cliff is at NAB New York, and he's been walking around. He asked this morning for some ideas of where he might go, and so I gave him some, so maybe he's going to be able to report back to us. Let's see if we can't get him all queued up here when he calls in. Here we go. All right. He says, well, let me call that number. Let's go back to Facebook and see if we've got anything there. Okay, he saw that. He's got the number. So it's going to be vmixcall.com, of course. And do you ever go into your Facebook messaging and somebody that you know you've talked to before? And it's funny because I picked up a message from Cliff from some months back where we're trying to do some troubleshooting through there. So it would be easier to troubleshoot if we could talk. Oh my goodness. That's too funny. Okay. So NAB New York is kind of like a miniature version of NAB. Cliff, I'll give you another number if that one doesn't work. We'll take this one. Cliff logged in, called it disconnected. Okay, so let's try. Cliff logged in again, but we don't see him or hear him. So maybe he's not there. Are you there, Cliff? Can you hear me? I can't hear you or see you, but I can give you another number if you need. Here's another one. There we go. You can try that one. All right. So you got to have the camera and the mic, but that's okay. Well, this was just purely ad hoc, and we'll just have to see if it might work. Thestable.ca is heading to NAB New York tomorrow. It's a smaller show than NAB in Las Vegas, probably a tenth of the size from what I can gather. But it is beginning to attract some attention, and it has the advantage that you can jump on a train and you can go down there for the day. You don't have to make a big deal out of it if you go like you would go into Las Vegas. So we will see if we get Cliff on there. Dave O says, question, will the Behringer Ultralink ULM202 USB mic come into vMix as two different inputs? It has a USB RX unit. Dave Edwards says, according to the description, it's used with compatible Behringer devices. I think that is indeed correct. That's the way I understand it. I have not I've not actually tried it myself. Oh,
can you hear me, Tom?
Audio. There's audio.
I cannot hear you.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. I think we've got Cliff in. Let's see if we can't get him in a side by side.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Let's see. We've got Cliff in there. Checking 1 2 3. Guest 3, guest 2. Which guest did he end up being? Oh, we had him, but we lost him. He was hiking outside. He was on guest 3. See if we can bring in guest 3. You guys may not be interested in this at all, but I thought it's post-show, so we'll just sort of play with it.
I can now hear you.
And now you can hear me?
Yes, I can, sir.
You can hear me. Awesome. Okay, well, let's get you on the show. Cliff is on the streets of New York.
I'm walking back to the Javits so that hopefully I can give you a taste of the show. I'm about 5 minutes away. I don't know if you want to wait on hold on me until I get back inside.
Well, what did you see this morning? Anything you liked?
I did. Hold on a second. I'm going to continue walking. Hopefully you can see me. Or do you want me to do that, Tom?
That's fine. Sure.
What do you like better? Landscape or vertical?
Vertical's good. Landscape's good.
Okay. Landscape's good. Now I'm getting dizzy. Well, I'm in Manhattan right now on closing in on 10th Avenue on 1 block from Javits. I had left, but I'm going to go back inside. Hopefully I can continue having a signal. I did see, I went to Bird Dog, as you had suggested. And I saw the new out with, which I was impressed with. Can you still hear me?
Yes. Yeah, we lost you.
Yes.
We got your audio. Keep going. Had a lovely tone in the background.
Welcome to New York.
Yeah.
I think one of the booths that I was in that I was interested in was Bird Dog.
Yep. All right, Cliff, you still there? Hello, Cliff. We got your audio because we can hear the street, but the internet dropped here for just a minute. We're trying to get it back. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Am I there?
You're there. Check 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. Testing, testing. Is this thing on? Video frozen for all. Yeah. Last frame. We had a glitcheroo here. Not sure what the glitcheroo was. We'll have to check. Cliff, can you hear me? Hello, Cliff. We're getting there. Hang in there. We got audio back first. But the video is going to take a second. Yep. Hang on. We're coming. All right, let's see who might have joined us when we were not paying attention. Oh, Jim Moline's here. Hello, Jim. Good to see you. Gast 707 is here. Welcome, sir. Curtis is here. And if you're watching, wondering why you can hear but not see, is something happened, and I'm restarting vMix. And so the presets take a second, well, not a second, take a minute or so to reload because it's a pretty heavy-duty preset. And
You'll be able to download the codec for other Windows PCs.
There we go. So let's see if we can't get the right shot here. If we've got Cliff. Cliff's video is still frozen, but we'll see if we can't get him unfroze here real quick and get him back on. I don't happen to see. Yeah, we've lost his audio, so it probably means we've lost his video too. So it was a good try. It was a good try, but for some reason it just didn't work. Jim says, Tom, you need a live view solo in the studio. Well, actually, you know, it's kind of interesting, Jim. The stream didn't drop. It's just the video dropped. And as you could tell, the audio dropped. I'm running vMix on 2 PCs, and so the second streaming and recording PC did just fine, but it's the main production PC. This is that old i7 2600K CPU, and it may be time to retire it. Maybe time to retire it. I hear audio.
I'm here.
I hear audio. Do we have video?
Yes.
Let's. I meant, do we have your video?
Yes. Do you?
Yes, we do. We do. Okay, let's see. Let me get you into the show then.
Okay. I'm about to walk back into Javits.
You were able to walk one more block further down the street than before.
Actually, a few. And I'm almost in Javits.
Okay, and let me update the titles here. So what did you learn at the Bird Dog booth?
So they have a new product there. Can you see me okay? Because
yeah, you're fine.
I'm trying to... Okay, hold on while I get this badge back on. So they have a new PTZ camera that they're offering, which I kind of liked. I kind of had two feelings about that camera. I felt that it was at a great price point. By the same token, while it's a full NDI camera, I would think that it would use a lot of overhead to have that camera running. Would you say so?
CPU, yes.
Right, so the price point's good, but for people who are going to be using a camera at that price point, are they going to have the overhead to run multiple PTZs like that camera?
I think they are.
You do?
I do.
Well, then,
you're going to design your network and your PCs according to the fact that NDI is a CPU pig.
Right. That's true. But, everybody has a budget.
We lost
Still
your
there?
video, but we still have your audio.
There I go.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. I'm walking back in to the event here. You want me to stay vertical?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Because I could probably show you more if I was horizontal, but that might be a pain in the neck for you. I don't know.
Well, when we get to that point, we'll let you go full screen. Right now, I got you side by side.
Okay, that's fine. So, all the usual suspects are there. Live View is there. Teradek is there. Obviously, Tess and Paul are there. The bubbly Tess and Paul from PTZ Optics.
Yeah, I saw you on their live stream this morning.
I did? You did?
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't know about that. So it's actually, there's a lot of booths here. I'm actually kind of surprised how many booths are here. I'm gonna go landscape now.
Okay.
Okay. So here we are. Here's the Google booth.
Aha.
Google has quite a little booth here, and they're constantly running seminars all day long.
Aha.
Telestream is here. B&H is here. Oops. See, there's the Google guy. I felt like a lot of the products here, and you tell me if I'm wrong. Whoops. You still there? Whoa. You tell me if I'm wrong, but a lot of the products there, Paul, they seem to be built more for broadcasting rather than us little live streamers.
Yeah.
And so I feel kind of like, I don't know if it's overwhelmed, but there's a lot of stuff here that doesn't have any relevance to me.
Sure.
In my world. And there's a bunch of resellers here. Obviously, B&H is here. A couple of your competitors are here. Obviously, nowhere near as sophisticated as you. But there's a lot of camera manufacturers. No, obviously. A lot of camera manufacturers here. A lot of software, a lot of workflow companies are here. Blackmagic is here. I had a guy help me out with a couple of the situation issues that I'm having with my Blackmagic cards, and he was really speaking at a level I didn't quite understand. I got the gist, but I didn't. He was speaking at a level that was, I don't consider myself very technical, as you know.
I think you do just fine.
I'm hanging in there. But here we have, let's see. So, and then you have the other, manufacturers of hardware. Here's a Zeiss booth. Panasonic is here with some of their solutions. And I'm noticing a lot of these companies are starting to build multiple applications so that they're becoming turnkey. You know what? While we're building a camera, let's build some switching software. Or while we're building a camera, let's start building a box that can control the switcher. Like XPs.
Yeah.
But things like this, Tom, like right here. Am I really going to be using this camera?
Probably not.
Right.
Not today. But you might in 10 years.
Yes, but I got to tell you that, a lot of the products that I use, I don't ever see me needing anything this sophisticated. Some of the mirrorless products out there give you really incredible capabilities, and when you start adding on accessories like from Red Rock, you're getting a product that can do a lot of what these cameras can do. But then again, that's me. I don't know that I'm going to get to that level unless I'm doing MLB games. Maybe someday I'm going to be doing MLB games. Is there anything in specifics where you would like me to go? Here's a new tech booth, and they are constantly giving seminars all day long.
Uh-huh.
As you can tell, it's not too crowded here at New Tech.
But I will.
You're actually live right now. Say hi to Tom Sinclair of Eastern Shore Broadcasting. Tom Sinclair of Eastern Shore Broadcasting.
Hello,
and
Tom Sinclair.
We're in the after show of his Streaming Idiots show.
Streaming Idiots, yay! I'm an idiot, it'll be perfect.
Then you should join. She's got one person in her booth. But I will tell you, even though this booth is quiet, everybody talks about NDI. NDI seems to be all the rage. Dropped you again. I was at another company here. They said you should have seen his booth 5 minutes ago. Here's Q kind of stuff. Here's teleprompter stuff.
I think your video's frozen, Cliff.
Yeah, I think so too. But I'm at a teleprompter company. But you can tell that their teleprompters are something that in our world I don't think you're going to need. I really see you can put on an iPad on a tripod and you've got a great teleprompter. Am I still frozen?
Yep.
Okay.
Still frozen.
I mean, I'm glad I'm at the show. I will tell you that I am very glad I'm at the show. Whoops. Okay, let's see the teleprompters. See these types of teleprompters. Is that something that we would need, or you can put on a? Which way? Is that good?
No, can't see a thing. It's frozen.
Okay.
When you put it in your pocket, it froze.
Oh, I'm still frozen now?
Yeah.
Oh. What is it that I can do without losing the call?
You can drop the call and come back.
Okay. Are you going to give me
Let's
a
try
new,
Same
new
number.
password?
Same number.
Okay. I'll call you back.
All
I'll
right.
try not to move around so much.
You're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, as Todd is saying in chat, the redhead in the New Tech booth is the famous Kiki. She is the long time.
I know her.
You know her. Okay.
I do. That's funny. Okay, so
There
let
it
me
is.
hang up the call.
Okay.
Oh,
No,
back?
you're back. You're back. You're good.
Okay.
You're good. There we go.
Okay, so it's funny because I know who Kiki was because when they were selling the toaster hot and heavy, she was their big play, right?
Yeah.
That's right. I did not know that was Kiki. But anyway, yeah, so these types of teleprompters, they're really cool. While they're really cool, I can't justify them. I see using an iPad as something that would work well in my studio.
Sure.
So I think there's this kind of broadcasting high-end mixed with live streaming. But I will also say I believe that this live streaming world is going to continue to grow and over time will present a threat to these broadcasting guys.
Oh, it already has. It already has. That's why they make fun of us as hobbyists or enthusiasts or
Right.
not ready for prime timers. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I was in one booth today where they called Martin and is it Tim?
Yeah.
They call them hobbyists.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I thought that was pretty funny that they called vMix a hobbyist software tool.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right. Insults are a mark, a red. What do they call it? A red badge of courage.
Right.
Yep.
Well,
we'll
what's
take
going
it.
to happen over time is, the live streaming train has left the station, and when they least suspect it, the train will have passed their station, and they will not be aboard the train. And I've lived through that several times in my career, where I've disrupted industries because I got in early on, and companies didn't feel a threat. They laughed at me, but in the end, they ended up getting hurt pretty badly. So it is starting to thin out a little bit here. I did not see your friend Eric Pratt.
Okay.
Probably ought to go see Eric Pratt.
Yeah, I think he was close to Black Magic somewhere.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll go back that way.
Yeah. He's just somebody you need to meet.
Yeah. Can you still see me, or am I frozen?
Oh, you look terrific.
Well, I don't look terrific, but at least you can see me. But here, but what I've been told is that this show in New York is growing.
Yeah? I'm sure that's exactly what they would like to think. Whether it's true or not, it's a different story.
Do you agree or disagree?
I've never been there.
Oh, you've never been to NAB New York?
No. I'm just a Las Vegas guy.
Here is a company called Free Access Power to Change. What is this?
It's the next big thing.
Sir, what is this?
This is called the grid system.
Yeah.
It is an adaptive cabling distribution system, which is a wire management system.
Can you hear that, Tom?
Yes, it can.
And
Okay. And so what does it do? Is this where I put all my wiring for...
yes, it's essentially a very low-profile raised flooring system. This is 2 3/4 inches high, and our lowest system is only 1 5/8 inches. So you can run power, voice, and data cables underneath the floor, and it gives you unlimited ability to make moves, adds, and changes. Very interesting. It's an
All right.
system.
Thank you.
Thank
There
you.
you go. Thank you, sir. And here's some satellite IP services, multi-camera end-to-end streaming solutions, Red House Streaming. I don't know if you've heard of all these companies.
Nope. But I'll tell you what, Cliff, walking by those booths, it looks like the trade show at my local civic center that is put on by the Chamber of Commerce.
It's interesting you say that. It's very interesting you say that because I expected to see the big Canon booth, the big JVC booth. I mean, Black Magic is the biggest booth here,
Yep.
which I think is kind of, I don't know, I think it's kind of interesting that a company, to me, is actually kind of small, is the biggest booth here.
I mean, you look to your right and you see the hanging banner for Live View,
Yes.
and I see maybe 1 or 2 others. In Las Vegas, there would be 100 within eyesight.
And some of them probably more professional as well. Not that Live View is not professional.
Right.
So here
But-
you have the Black Magic booth. I'm sorry.
You
Go
know,
on,
it
Tom.
probably cost them $10,000 just to hang that banner.
Well, here at the Javits Center, you can't touch any of your own booth because it's all union here.
Right.
The union
Well,
has
same
to
thing
be
in Las
separate.
Vegas.
Yeah, probably. So, here's the Black Magic booth. I'll just take you a little walk around Black Magic. They actually have a large booth. When I come here for Photo Plus, usually Nikon is right here.
Uh-huh.
But you're absolutely right. The booths here look like a trade show from your local civic center. Why do you think that is?
Money.
Money.
Return on
Explain
investment.
us.
I don't think they're...
Oh, so they-
Yeah, I don't think they're expecting the crowd, so they're not going to put a lot of money into a booth that's not going to have, 20,000 people go by them in a day.
Right. But then that tells you that this show is not taken too seriously.
Right. Yeah, Edward Ford is saying in chat the New York show is nowhere near the scale of the NAB show in Las Vegas. I would bet NAB Las Vegas is 10 times that big.
Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I used to do a lot of work with Canon. Their booth was that big in Las Vegas. Their booth is gigantic. It's like a hotel.
Right.
And but you're absolutely right. It's really just small companies here, and I think you're correct. And a lot of it were things that I don't know why. Maybe it's me, but I just was not. I'm interested in some of the vendors here, but not many.
Well,
maybe that's
NAB
'cause-
Las Vegas is the same way. 95% of it I have no interest in.
Do you walk the floor anyway, or no?
I did the first year. I didn't the second 2 years because I was shamed at the vMix booth.
Gotcha.
But that was okay.
Yeah. So Yes, so you're absolutely right. It's a lot of small vendors. I was expecting to see something a lot larger than I did.
Yeah.
And I felt like a lot of it was things that I can't use.
Yeah.
And again, maybe
Yeah.
that's just because of the level I'm at or what I do. My applications are different.
Well, you're a pretty narrow niche.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's true. Right, it's thinning out now. It was a little bit more crowded before, but it wasn't packed like NAB is packed.
Right.
You know, NAB, you go around someone's booth and there's a crowd of people around the booth. Here really was not like that.
Yeah. So did you see the vMix booth?
I did. As a matter of fact, I'm right near Tim right now, and I went to say hi to Tim. As a matter of fact, we'll go over there,
All right.
and we'll go say hi to Tim. We're about 10 seconds away. Let me take off my earpiece. Get the microphone ready. Excuse me. Sorry. Hey, Tim.
Hey, yeah.
Say hi to Tom.
Where am? Hello.
We're on the
Hey.
of Streaming Idiots.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing? It's good to see you.
Oh, I'm a little bit tired.
Yeah?
Hanging out with Cliff. Yeah.
Yeah? All right.
Yeah.
Very good.
Did he
Is that
steal
Dave?
your mouse pad?
Did I get a mouse pad? No. Nobody sends me mouse
No, he
pads
didn't steal
anymore.
you one? Okay.
No.
I'm sorry.
Give me one. I'll send it to him.
Okay.
All right, there
We'll
you
see
go.
how we
That's
go.
a deal. Actually, what
a
I
pretty good
need
deal.
is I need a facial hair transplant. Do you know of any donors?
Well, if I could actually sort out how to shave this thing while I'm overseas in a hotel, I would gladly donate any facial hair you required. But unfortunately, it's really difficult to sort of organize. So it's here
I
for
got you.
now.
Well, hey,
but yeah.
congratulations. You and Martin crashed YouTube last night. That was well done.
I know, right? It was such terrible timing because, I mean, it was good for us because, you know, we finished the live stream and, you know, everything was good. But then we couldn't upload it. We couldn't do anything. People were like, where's the video? And it's like, well, we can't do anything because no one can watch it. So, yeah, it's terribly weird timing, hey? Like, it just cut out just as we were finishing. So
You got the whole show in, though.
Yeah, that's the lucky thing. I think it would have been annoying if people were like, and the new features are,
Yeah, that's right.
and then everything just froze. So, I mean, that's something we would do, but yeah, not particularly good timing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's it's been exciting here. I'm talking to a bunch of people. It's, you know, using vMix and getting harassed by other people, so it's always good fun.
I harassed you.
Yeah, well, you know, not badly. So
Yeah. So are you getting good crowds?
yeah, it's been busy. Yeah, it's been busy all day.
Good.
You know,
Good.
constantly talking to people. So you know how it is. You're
Yeah.
a trade show vet.
Yep. All right. Who have you got there with you?
Dan's helping us out. So Dan from X Keys and Bill. So Bill's another guy from that helps him out. He does all the graphics and animations and all that kind of stuff. So
You on camera?
that's
Hey, Dan. It's good to see you.
Dan and Bill.
All right. The Dan and Bill show. I like it.
Yeah.
If you survived the hurricane.
And Tim, it looks like you're rubbing off on Dan.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. Bill didn't get the memo about the beard booth.
Making fun of your VX.
So he shaved just before he got here, and he didn't get the memo. So I blame Dan for that. So we're all on the same page at one point, but then it all kind of fell apart. So
Yep.
yeah.
I know how that goes.
Whoops.
I know how that goes. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, thanks for sending that that alpha version of vMix 22 to me. We used it on today's show. It was really a lot of fun.
Oh, good. That's good to hear. I'm glad it's all working out for you.
Yep. I've got a few suggestions, but I think
Okay.
you guys are on the right track again.
Awesome. Well, I should probably go and do some work. I'll leave you to it.
All right.
And,
Very good.
it was good
Very
talking
good.
to your pal here.
He's a character. Keep
He's
an eye
holding
on
the
him. Put
I
one
will
hand
try
on your
to.
wallet whenever you're talking to him.
Yeah, all right. I'll do my best. All right,
Okay.
man. I'll see you later.
All right, good. Be safe.
Thanks, Tim. Yeah, no worries. Talk to you soon. All right.
All right, there we go. There we go.
Okay, there we go. There's a famous Tim. What's Tim's last name?
Tim,
It's famous Tim.
you know you've arrived when you don't even need a last name. You know, it's like
Like
Madonna. Yeah, exactly.
Cher.
You don't have to have
So
a
I
last
guess you're-
name.
So pretty soon you're just going to be Tom?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, we'll be called idiot for time and times.
Right. So I've done enough damage here today. Whoops, sorry, sir.
So are you there for
Something to
today
do
and
all
tomorrow?
No, there's really not much for me to do here tomorrow. I came, I did what I needed to do for the day. I'm really glad that I got to meet some people. As a matter of fact, I might go see if I can track down Eric Pratt before I leave.
Yep.
But you know, I saw Paul and Tess. I met Tim. I saw a couple of old clients of mine who I haven't seen for a while to say hi to. So I feel like I needed to do, you know, I did what I needed to do here today. My son, you know, lives in the city. He's a filmmaker. I'm going to try to track him down
Good deal.
and see him. Yeah, see if I can find him. So.
Well, shows like that, you know, are kind of it's kind of a double whammy. One is the stuff you go for because you want to see the new stuff, and the other is the people that you meet. And
Yes.
you know, sometimes the second part is more valuable than the first.
I think for me today, it was the people.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Good.
You know, so
Well, Cliff, you're a champ for taking time to call in like this. I really do appreciate it. And
it's so awesome to do this.
well, good. Good.
Anytime you need a Jimmy Olsen, Tom, I'm there for you.
Okay. All right. Not sure what that means, but that's all right. Yeah. Obviously, it was a Superman Clark Kent reference, and
Yes.
and we appreciate that. We appreciate that.
And yours, I say Chief, and you say Great Caesar's Ghost. Don't call me Chief.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, you really do need to get your reservations in for NAB Las Vegas.
I'm going to do that when I get home. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, there's a company who I've used for NAB before, and for CES, it's an Airbnb and that I use. So I'm going to get in touch with them today and also get my tickets.
Yep.
How many days do I need to be at NAB?
I think
in
you
this
need to
new
give
world?
I think you need to give yourself 3 days.
Really, you think I'll need to be there for that long?
I think so. 2 days to see everything, and then the third day to go back and take a deeper dive.
Gotcha. Into the things that really were interesting to me.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
every year I bump into people that try to do it in 1 or 2 days, and they just, you know, they say, "Oh, I wish I had more time. I wish I had more time."
Right. Yeah.
And so, you know, if you were to come in on Tuesday and come to the party, the Streaming Idiots meet up Tuesday night.
I'll do that.
You know, you'd have Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the show closes mid-afternoon Thursday. I don't know. You might want to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that.
Right.
But if you can do that third day, I think that will be your most valuable day.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'll do that. Plus, you know, I have a lot of old clients from my old business who
Yep.
have booths that I would probably be nice just to say hello to them. You know, I haven't seen them for a long time.
Well, and every single one of your old clients need live streaming.
They do. I don't think they fully recognize that or really understand the value of it. And I've been trying to educate them, but they're at this point, and some of them are manufacturers of cameras.
How about that?
Some of them are the largest manufacturers in the world of cameras, and they don't get it.
Cameras names that start with like C. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But that's okay. You just keep pounding, you just keep putting yourself in their path, and eventually the light bulb will go on with them, and they'll say, "Where is Cliff? I need to talk to Cliff." Yeah.
I know that some of them have been watching my videos, so
Yeah.
you know, it just takes time. You know, here's the thing about business: you have to be willing to hang in there. for as long as it takes,
Yeah.
and know that it's
Yeah.
not going to happen overnight.
Right.
It's just not the way it works.
No such thing as an overnight success.
No. But I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, there's something you said that I think is a great quote. And he said, you know what? You need to stand in the middle of traffic.
Oh, yeah.
That's all you need to do is stand in the middle of traffic. And I think that's a fantastic quote. I might steal that from you.
Well, if you're going to quote me, you need to get it right.
Oh, go ahead.
I said you need to put yourself in their path.
That's right. Well, yeah. But not
Whatever
different
their path is, and different places have different paths. You need to be in their path, so they keep bumping into you. It's like standing in the middle of that row right there and making people bump into you. And
Absolutely.
eventually,
I've been literally bumping into you.
mark it by bumping. There you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, I'll tell you what, even me doing this live stream with you puts me in the path in traffic.
Sure. Sure. People want to know, what in the world are you doing?
Right.
Yep. And how did you get that picture of that guy and yourself on the other end? Because you see both of us, right?
Oh, yeah, I do. And I'm trying to look at my camera so I can look like I'm looking at the camera.
Right. Yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
Yeah.
I get it.
But yeah, I do see both. I do.
All right. Well, you're a treat. When we come to Las Vegas, I want to take you to dinner.
Well, that would be very kind of you. Is it going to be White Castle?
I was thinking about In-N-Out Burger. Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I mean, actually, that's a real treat. You don't get those on the East Coast. You don't get them down the South. You have to go to the West to get them.
Yeah, I've only had them in California.
Yeah. 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 Don't tell my wife, though. I'm not supposed to have that stuff. All right.
We'll tell her that you got vegetarian burgers.
Yeah. She'll believe that. Yeah. She'll go with that one. All right, remember,
Okay.
April 9th, that's Tuesday night. That's the Streaming Idiots meetup. You got to stay over for Tuesday night, or you got to be there by Tuesday night.
I will do my hotels and start to look at flights.
There you go.
If I'm not
All right.
if I'm not in Italy.
You just got back from Italy.
Yeah, I know. I do.
Plus, there's a place in Las Vegas that looks just like Italy.
Yes, I know. I've been. Yeah, that's right. I've been there.
Tim and I went there last year. In fact, with Dan and his crowd. Yeah, it was great.
Did you
All
ride
right.
on a gondola together?
No, we did not ride on a gondola together. Didn't do
Okay,
that.
just checking.
No.
Well,
no.
well, thanks for having me on, Tom.
It was a treat. We'll catch you later.
Great. Talk to you soon.
Bye, Cliff.
Bye, idiots.
Okay. So that was Cliff coming to us live from Las Vegas. From NAB New York. Wasn't that fun? It was fun to have done it. I don't know that we we learned a lot about NAB Las Vegas. That's fun. TV Tom says, Tom, do you have Schlotsky's in your neck of the woods? Yes, we do. We'd love to go to Schlotsky's Deli. We have Schlotsky's. But we do not have In-N-Out Burger. Yes, we do. We have also something called Whataburger, which is an old-fashioned hamburger, really good. Yep. I like Jan's comment. I dare say that calling vMix for hobbyists is a bit ignorant. I think it's ignorant. I think it's also an insult, and I think it's an intentional insult. I think it's an insult that somebody that is what's the right word? Somebody that is threatened is going to make. We are a little uncertain about what's going to go on, and so we want to make sure that we keep these people out. We marginalize them. We make our customers think that they are not worthy of any attention. Yeah. That's okay. That's okay, because they're going to miss the boat. Well, guys, let's see who's here. Rich is here. Dave, Amnon, Dave, Jesper, Edward, David, Curtis. Dave is the name today, isn't it? Jan, Todd, Gas, Dave, Frank, Martin. Hey, Martin, didn't see you come in. And Jim, if any of you guys are still here, loved having you here, hanging out with you today. It's been my treat for sure. And we will catch you next week. If I can help you in any way, you know how to reach me. And what else? I guess that's it. We'll catch you later. Thanks for watching. We'll let the stream run out now.